Hello everyone! So the next few recipes I'm hoping to try out from Dominique Onsol's book, The Secret Recipes, all use an ingredient I'm having a really hard time finding anywhere. I've been trying for a few months now to track down smoked cinnamon. A normal person would probably just use ground cinnamon and call it a day, but I'm not a normal person, so I'm going to be smoking my own cinnamon. I found a tutorial online for building a very simple smoker out of some tinfoil baking pans. So that's what I'm going to be showing you today. Let's hope it works out. So I'm going to start by cutting a couple holes in these pans. So one of the pans will be the bottom of the smoker and one of them is going to be the top. The top of the smoker, I want to cut a square over here. So I'm just going to make an X, aiming for like roughly 2 inches by 2 inches or so. I'm just going to fold those back in. So it'll be sort of like a chimney. For the bottom, I'm going to cut a square about the same size right here. And fold that in as well. We'll just set these aside for now. We're just going to tear off a piece, maybe 2 feet long. Get the smoking pellets out and put a couple handfuls in here. So I'm just going to fold this up into a nice little packet. Okay, so I'm going to roll this into a log and poke a bunch of holes in it, which should hopefully be enough to let the smoke out and keep the pellets smoldering and producing smoke. So I'm going to cut the ends off. Okay, and one of the open ends will go in front of that hole that I made in the bottom. And I'm just going to use a bit more foil to make sort of an accordion here for my cinnamon sticks to go on. I just figured this will help keep the cinnamon sticks up so that the smoke can get all in and around all of them. Right. And still have lots of room in there, so I think I'm going to make one more of those just so there's plenty of room. Good enough. Arranged on top of these pieces of foil. I want to leave as much room in and around everything as I can so everything gets nice and smoked evenly. So now I just need to put a lid on this thing, and I want the hole that's in the top to be on the opposite side as the hole in the front. So I'm going to put it on top like that and use a few bulldog clips to attach everything. And I only have 3 clips, so that's just going to have to do. And obviously this is going to be smoking, so I'm not doing this indoors. I'll meet you outside in a sec. All right, here I am. It's winter here, as you can see, so most of our patio stuff's been put away. So I'm just going to use this little side table we have. So here goes nothing. Looks like we've got some smoke coming out of the top. Might be starting to work. I'm not sure if these are going to stay lit. Might just come back in a few minutes and see if it's still going. All right, so I'm giving it another shot with the fan going, little desk fan aimed right at the opening. I came back after about 15 or 20 minutes and it had gone out, so I figured it needed a little help, and it seems to be working much better now. but I am going to come back in another 10 or 15 minutes and make sure it's still going. So it's the next day. I finished smoking this yesterday, and actually I was aiming to smoke it for about 8 hours because that's what one of the websites that sells smoked cinnamon, they said that they smoke theirs for 8 hours over a blend of different woods. But the first log of wood smoking pellets that I made only lasted like maybe 2 hours. It came out 2.5 hours later and it was already out and empty. So I made a second log, and I tried to get it going 3 times and it kept going out even though I had the fan going. I'm not sure what happened. I made the second log pretty much the same way. I don't know what happened, but I can already tell it smells really, really smoky anyway. So I think that the 2 to 2.5 hours it got is probably plenty anyway. But anyways, I'm really excited to have a look and see how it turned out. Let's see what happened. All right, so I have this log of smoking pellets that never really got going, so I'll save that for another time. And then I have a whole bunch of cinnamon sticks. And they smell really, really smoky. I think this is going to be really good. All right, so I'll get the blender out to turn this into powdered cinnamon. So I noticed as I was looking through all of the cinnamon sticks that one of them got a little bit burnt on the end. I don't really want the burnt part in my powdered cinnamon, and I don't really want to waste the whole cinnamon stick either because the rest of it seems pretty good. So I'm just going to try and cut off the burnt end before I throw everything in the blender. And luckily that wasn't too hard to do. Oh, forgot this one. All right, back in you go. So it's all blended up. And honestly, it doesn't really smell that smoky anymore. So I'm second guessing myself a little bit as to whether I smoked it for long enough. I mean, it just does smell a little different than regular cinnamon, so could be good. I don't know. I'm just going to get this into a jar, and then we'll do a little bit of a taste test. For the taste test, I figured I'd just make myself a latte and sprinkle some of the cinnamon on top. In my favorite llama mug. Now let's hit some of that smoked cinnamon on top. When I filmed the taste test, I didn't realize my mic wasn't hooked up, so I just recorded this voiceover after the fact. Anyway, I thought the smoked cinnamon was really good, though it didn't have a very noticeable smoky flavor, which was surprising to me because the sticks smelled extremely smoky after I pulled them out of my DIY smoker. That leads me to believe that the 2-hour smoke time probably wasn't enough for the smoke to penetrate deep enough into the cinnamon sticks for the smoke flavor to remain after grinding. I haven't tried store-bought smoked cinnamon yet, though, so I don't know how my version compares. Compared to regular cinnamon, this was significantly spicier with an almost peppery flavor, though that may have had more to do with the fact that it was freshly ground from cinnamon sticks than the fact that it was smoked. It also had a slight savory note. If I make this again, I would try to smoke it for the full 8 hours and see how much of a difference a longer smoke time would make. Leave me a comment if you'd like me to make a follow-up video with a longer smoke time. Thanks for watching!